Right. On to some other news right now. This evening, volunteers are all but begging Oakland leaders to overhaul a number of regulations in hopes of easing the burden on the overcrowded city-run animal shelter. So it's a nonprofit supporting the shelter that says since 2020, Oakland Animal Services has lost 40% of its supply budget and 30% of its staff. At the same time, animal intake is up 40%. So the changes would include limiting the holding period before the shelter could euthanize animals and even turning away surrendered animals entirely. Our John Ramos spoke with a volunteer who says she doesn't want these changes, but there is no other option.
It is the mission of the Oakland Animal Shelter to care for unwanted and abandoned animals in the community, and the staff here will move heaven and earth to make that happen. But the last budget cut was so deep that they're now pursuing a policy that would, for the first time, allow them to turn animals away. If someone had an animal to turn in at the shelter today, they were out of luck. Prior budget cuts have closed the facility to the public on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But now they want to change the policy so they can refuse new animals at any time when there just isn't enough room or staff to care for them.
We want to be abiding by best practices, but it's also true that by doing that, we will make it easier for the staff, and so the staffing shortage won't have as severe of an impact.
Oakland has always been what's known as an open admissions shelter. By law, they are required to accept any animals surrendered to them. The new ordinance would give them discretion. But some volunteers, who make up the majority of the workforce, say it's just an excuse to accept inexcusable cuts to their budget.
What they're changing is that the shelter can say, well, we can't take this dog, we can't take this cat because we no longer have the staffing, the resources, the ability to do it. And that's the problem. The problem is that they keep cutting the budget. Just recently they cut 8 permanent full-time staffing positions, so we'll have even less people working with the animals. It's just a mess, and we want the people of Oakland to know about this.
Johanna Widger and Willow Learoff donate their time to taking care of the animals in the shelter. They say the new ordinance may be a practical reality, but it will have dire consequences in the future.
We have never seen such a severe and drastic staffing shortage as we have now. To lose 8 full-time positions from an already skeleton crew of staff is devastating, and the shelter is truly in crisis because of it. We have people in the parking lot letting animals loose. We have people on our streets, at parks. This problem is only going to compound.
And the heartbreaking results were suddenly there to see. A woman arrived carrying a tiny newborn kitten she had just found in the street.
This little baby was under a car, a parked car, so.
But then she was told there was no one available to accept it, and she left with the kitten still in her arms. The volunteers say the shelter has been an easy target for the budget axe, and they have been dealing with more and more cuts every year. But now they say they have been cut too far, and the solution of turning away animals from an animal shelter is really no solution at all.
I had to bring this up because I think that it's important for people to know that we've had death by 1,000 cuts.
With this staffing crisis, there's no easy immediate answer for it, but changing an ordinance is something that is disastrous to the community.
The director says he would like a system that tries to connect pet owners with the help they may need to keep their animals. But the volunteers say with the budget cuts, there is simply no one left in the building to do that.